Hello, welcome to the Friends of Picati podcast, or I guess rather vlogcast for this one. We're going to do something a little bit different. We came on basically, we wanted to talk about Get Tied Up for Picati. After all, that's where these podcasts started. And that was the event that we're promoting. And it's been and gone now. And we wanted to chat with Chris and have a little bit of a roundup and see, how much it raised and what the money's going to be used for and how the event went. And then obviously at the end of this, we'll be announcing what the plan is for the next fundraising event, which, like I say, we'll talk about at the end. But yeah, let's talk about Get Tied Up for Picati. So Chris, maybe just start by reminding everybody what the event was and what the initiative was and what you were hoping to get from it.
Okay, well, it started out with a fellow Scunthorpe fan, a friend of ours called David Scott. He originated the idea back in 2019 and said that he would put some money in if people would wear a tie to a football match. And we chose an away game for Scunthorpe, which would have been at Carlisle. Unfortunately, that too was when COVID hit, so we never got around to actually taking it forward. And as COVID restrictions have eased, we thought it was a good idea to try it this year. And then I thought maybe the best one, obviously for me, was to do it here in Bradford, where I live, and that's what happened, thankfully.
Yeah, and obviously we were promoting it a little bit on here, and I saw your blogs as well. It was quite a bit of build up, and it was in the club shop, and it was in the in the turnstiles and things like that. I saw the posters all over the place. So the words, the word was out there, wasn't it? And from what I saw, there was a lot of people getting involved. There was a lot of photos got sent in.
Yeah, there was some quite good ones as well, and I did decide that the winner was Phil Moody, because he covered himself in ties, and that was definitely the best one of the day. Yeah, it was good to get entries and something to look at. It was good.
Yeah, and obviously there's been charity events that you've done before, and I know certainly at Iron Brew Podcast when we did a live show, which was a long time ago now, we had a little bit there. So this is something that Scunthorpe fans have donated to frequently, I think, isn't it? And it seemed that there was quite a lot of engagement. Did it? People sent in the pictures. Did it match on the sort of the money side of things as well? Were people sending it in? Were they also donating too?
Yeah. I mean, we got it from sort of in two ways really. We got quite a few donations via the PayPal account as advertised. But on the day, Neil Campbell from the Supporters Club coaches were collecting cash as well on the coaches and amongst the fans in the stadium as well. So we managed to pocket quite a bit on the day.
Well, that's what it comes down to, isn't it? So let's see, how did we do then? How much was raised from that event?
Well, in total, it came to a shade over £1,100.
Wow. Brilliant. And what were you sort of hoping for with this? Because I know you talked around that sort of four figures before, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was hoping that something around that figure would be a good one to aim at. So I'm pleased to hit the 1,000 target. I'm a little bit disappointed it wasn't more than that in some respects, because I got some entries from the Bradford City fans, but not as many as I'd hoped. But hey, it is what it is, and £1,100 is better than nothing.
Absolutely, it's still quite a big sum, isn't it? Really. Let's talk about what it's going to be used for. So obviously, Friends of Picati is always open for donations. You can donate at any point, but when you have specific events, fundraising events like this, where there is like an end point, if that makes sense, does that money just sort of go into the pot, or is it used sort of in a specific way? How does it work?
It goes into the pot, really. The pot, ultimately, it's for transporting whatever we get given out to the schools, because the shipping costs are can be quite big. When we did the first run in 2019, we had 8 PCs, a couple of laptops, a load of cabling, and then a bunch of Scunthorpe football tops.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that getting sent out there, definitely.
Yeah,
so that was 2019 then, that one?
Yeah.
And that was when you went back out there, wasn't it, for the first time?
I went out again, for the second time, because 2018 was when I went, and that's what started all this off. And
yes,
2019 was the time I went back to with goods to give them. And it cost somewhere just short of £1,000 to ship all that lot off. And we've got at least twice as much, maybe more than that, to send this time. So you could easily run up towards 2,500, 3,000.
So is all the things that are getting sent out there, is there sort of another shipment ready to go then?
I'm waiting to get the promised computers from the Stevenson Group in Leeds. They promised me at least 20.
Okay.
So that's probably going to be, that's where the bulk of the weight's going to come from. And like I said, that's probably going to be around £2,500 to £3,000 to ship those to the school.
Okay. But that's about, well, a third of that from this one event, from the Bradford City game. Let's just very briefly talk football. I think it's sort of where we started with this, isn't it? Now, I think I was at work, and then I think I was in Leeds on that day, so I didn't get to the game and I couldn't listen to it. If I remember rightly, was it 2-1? Was it the one where we conceded within about 20 seconds? Is it that game?
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was sat with my son Daniel, and within 5 minutes we were like, oh God.
Yeah. Cricket scoring coming.
Yeah, but then we did seem to sort of stage a bit of a comeback, and we were donated a goal by their goalkeeper
through the own goal. Yeah, that's right. I do remember seeing the highlights.
Yeah, and then we kind of just held on towards the end a little bit, but we could have perhaps sneaked a draw off them, which would have been a bit unfair, but we don't mind that.
Well, never mind. I mean, it didn't make any difference to Scunthorpe's season in the end,
really.
Did it? Really. And I bring it back to football because that's where this next fundraising event is coming from, isn't it? This is what the next one is. Do you want to tell people the sort of initial plans?
Yeah, the initial plans at the moment, we're having what we're describing as an evening with the Iron Brew podcast plus special guests. I'll let you talk a little bit about the potential special guests if you wish.
Yes, of course. So this is obviously my other podcast that I do, the Iron Brew podcast. Myself, Matt Blanchard, Matt Ellis, where we focus on Scunthorpe United. We do it week in, week out. Well, that's the plan. Very rarely ends up being week in, week out, but that is what we try to do. As it stands, all three of us are down to be there. And one of the things that we do, that we really do enjoy doing, is in conversation episodes. And it's where we get a former player or manager and they come on and, we talk about their career and what they're doing now. And, it's great. And we've done live shows before. We've done live broadcasts, of course. We've done one in-person event. That was at the Honest Lawyer. Before the 2018 season started, I think. We really enjoyed doing that. So we were looking to do one again. And again, unfortunately, COVID, we try and tie it into the start or the end of the season. We just haven't been able to. But this one seems ideal. And yeah, the plan is that we're going to have a former Scunthorpe United player. There will be one there. We're going to do our usual thing. We'll talk to them, we'll interview them. I'm fairly certain as well, if you're at that event, there'll be a chance, for you guys to ask questions of anything that we've missed. So yeah, I'm not going to say who, just in case it, falls through or, we can't get them there, because obviously getting somebody to an event like this and in person, it's, and until they're in the room, you don't believe it's happening. So, we've got to make sure everything gets signed up and done, but I'm confident it'll be a good night. I think from our end, it's hopefully, if we get the players we're hoping for, interesting evening.
Yeah. The current plan is it's going to be on Saturday, the 9th of July. We haven't fixed a time yet, but it'll be evening time. And it's at Redbourne Club in Ashby, Scunthorpe. Is it in Ashby? I think it kind of is.
I think so. Yeah, it's that area, isn't it? But that's all booked up, isn't it, as well?
Yes. Yeah.
And I think the idea is, so we'll be going on first, won't we, with the podcast? I'd imagine that'll be probably about an hour. That's what they normally are. Maybe a little bit longer if the audience members are asking questions and things like that as well. But that's generally what we do. And then what's the plan for after us? Because there's still more stuff.
Yeah, we've got a bit of live music. My son Daniel, who's at university in Salford on a audio engineering course, he's in a band with a singer called Evie, and they also do like a small acoustic set with just the two of them, just Evie and Dan, and that's what we're going to have for the evening. I don't know how long a set they'll do, maybe 30-40 minutes, something like that.
We'll see. No, but I think it will be hopefully a good event, and obviously we can do like raffles and things like that as well, can't we? And there'll be opportunities to buy, things like this little pin badges and the t-shirts, all the merchandise. It's all there. So hopefully that's another thing to raise quite a bit of money and meet this target to ship out the next lot there. So yeah, we've got plenty of things to do there, I think. And yeah, like I say, if any Scunthorpe United fans, hopefully it'll be ideal because we'll be down there. We'll be chatting to a former player.
Yeah, should be good. I'm looking forward to it already.
Brilliant. Right, I think that's probably it for this one, don't you, Chris? So
yeah, that sounds good.
So great that Tied Up for Picati was a success, as we hoped it would be. This next one in July, obviously it's not, well, Evening with Iron Brew podcast, I guess, is what we're calling it. But yeah, that'll be in July down at Redburn Club. As ever, you can donate to Friends Picati. There's the podcast series, if you have been listening. We're up to about episode 5 now, aren't we? There's still plenty more to come as well. We've got some more interviews. I find the interviews really fascinating. It's great to hear that sort of perspective from, people actually at the school, from the pupil side of things, not just getting the teacher side of things, and we'll hear how they react to you.
I'm hoping to get another former local former teacher as well.
Brilliant.
I'm working on that in the background.
Excellent. So they're all coming up. And as I say, you can donate to Friends Picati at any point. So thank you for listening and or watching this, and we'll see you on the next one.
Nice one. Thank you.